What's up, guys? It's Nick Bester here, also known as Just a Little Bester, or the Boom Shakalaka guy. It's been a while. I went from doing pretty much a video a week for 10 weeks to zilch, zero, no videos for the last 3 weeks. And quick updates of what I've been up to and what I'm targeting going forward. But before I get into that, I just want to say how important it is to balance things out. In a marathon build and an intense race, how I went through in Berlin, it's really good to have some downtime, let the body fully recover, let the mind recover properly, and just keep your love there for running. I know I've seen it happen in a lot of cases where, it's easy for us. A lot of us runners have addictive personalities. We get obsessed with mileage and times, and it starts taking the enjoyment out of the sport a bit. So let's just say I've balanced things out quite nicely and I'm ready to get stuck in. I know after listening to or seeing Calvin Kiptum's training and doing 300 kilometers a week in his build-ups, I hope we're not going to all try and do that. Absolutely crazy. I've actually got a bit of a theory behind that because he honestly, I think, just eats, sleeps, trains, repeats. And when you're sleeping in the day, I think he's probably got 14 days in the week instead of 7. So he's doing 300 Ks in 14 days, which sounds a bit better. But honestly, what a phenomenal achievement. That world record was insane. I was actually taking a social media break during that time and I just couldn't resist. It was amazing. And it pretty much exploded on social media, and rightly so. What he did was incredible. I'm actually in an upcoming video looking to do 1 lap of Battersea Park at his marathon pace, which currently is now, I think, 2:51 per kilometer. And a lap of Battersea is 2.8 Ks, or pretty much 2.79 to be exact. And I think it's just over 15 laps of Battersea to do a marathon. All I want to do is one lap at his pace. I'm definitely not in that sort of shape at the moment, but I can't wait to give it a crack. And actually, it's one of the things I'm going to be training for. So in the last 3 weeks, I went to Lanzarote on an all-inclusive holiday. And like I said, us runners tend to have a bit of an addictive personality. So let's just say I did not hold back. I enjoyed the finer things in life. And then from there, I went straight into the Rugby World Cup quarterfinal, South Africa versus France in France, which was out of this world, one of the best rugby games ever. And the longer South Africa stay in the Rugby World Cup, the worse it is for my fitness levels in VO2 max. But it was just incredible to be there and witness a massive game coming up this weekend, that's for sure. And then I got back to this delivery right over here, the Prime X Strung 2. Oh my word, look at how beautiful is this color. The shoe's incredible. I've actually never done a proper shoe review. I've been getting so many questions about this. So once I've run in it a few more times, I will definitely give you my thoughts on it. I completely love the first version. This version, I've run in it once. I love it. I've still got to experience it a bit more, but I'll be sure to give you my honest thoughts. Just a quick reminder that this is a 50mm drop shoe. So as you can see, it's very, very high off the ground. Actually, nothing quite like it out there. And why I run in it is because it speeds up recovery. And it really protects especially my Achilles. I've had a history of tight Achilles. So in the elite and sub-elite world, it's illegal to race in the shoe. But everyday runner, completely fine. And hey, maybe I'll do my Calvin Kiptum challenge, 1 lap of Battersea in these, because at the moment I need all the help I can get. I just want to give a quick shout out to Hello Fresh for sponsoring this video. Here's a look at some of the yummy food I've been cooking, and I must say it's been really convenient getting back from holiday and not having to think about what you need from the shops. It's already there. In the past, I've been that person that cooks the same foods week in and week out, but I've really enjoyed having different things to cook. They have 44 meals to choose from, and being an athlete myself, I've gone for the higher protein meals, all about the gains. It's turned me into quite the foodie, and I've really been enjoying cooking a whole lot of different meals in the evenings. Here's a code you can scan for if you want 60% off your first box and 25% for your next 2 months after that. Thanks HelloFresh, you guys rock. Okay, so I'd like to share something with you. I've been running for around 10 years now, and every single year since I started running, I've been able to progress in pretty much every distance, from 5K through to marathon distance, year on year up until this point. So I started off at a 3 hour 17 marathon. As you know, last year I ran a 2:20. And this is the first year that I actually haven't progressed in that distance. I didn't PB in the 5K distance. I didn't PB in the half marathon distance. I didn't PB in the marathon distance. I did PB in the 10K distance. So previously my 10K PB was 31:01. This year I ran 30:46, a PB which I definitely want to improve on. But I know a lot of runners are in a similar boat out there to me, from the point of view that you've been able to progress a lot and I knew this day would come, and I still feel like I've got a lot more to give and I'm going to improve on my times, I got to believe. But I was really worried that when this day came, the year that I didn't progress anymore, what would happen? Would my world come crashing down? And finally that happened this year. Just to remind you, I ran a 2:20 and 8-second marathon at Berlin last year, and this year my two hard marathons, one was Seville and I ran 2:21:27, and the other one was Berlin again and I ran 2:22:12. So I wasn't able to progress in that distance, and can I tell you something? The sun still came out. What I've realized is that you can't judge a successful year based on whether the fact you were faster than the previous year. And it probably took me this year to realize that, and this to happen for me to realize that it's actually okay. And that, as I mentioned before, time, it's not the be all and end all. It's an amazing thing to keep you motivated. It's awesome to keep you on the straight and narrow and help you in your everyday life and work. And there's so many huge benefits to running, from a physical health, a mental health, and just your approach to running if you're able to approach life in the same manner. So PBs are amazing. I'm not going to lie down and accept that I'm not going to PB in the marathon distance again, because touch wood, I definitely am. But this year came where I wasn't able to progress, and I've never experienced it before. I've gotten faster every year for the last 9 years. Year number 10, I didn't get faster. And I still see it as such a successful year. It's definitely been one of the most successful years in my life in general. But at the same time, it is so motivating for me. I probably don't showcase it in the videos as well, but I set very high standards for myself. And it's okay to be a bit disappointed. And at the start of this year, I really wanted to PB in it, and I didn't. And I find that had I PB'd, I probably wouldn't be as motivated going into next year. But now I need to do things better, smarter, than ever before, because I really want to hit the levels where I was at before. And not just that, I really want to smash them and improve on those. So the day came. If you're in a similar boat to me, I know there's a lot of runners out there that have PB'd every year, and it's incredible to see. But when this year comes for you, it's okay. The sun comes out, your friends are still your friends, your family is still your family, everything else is still there, and you realize that it's just huge personal goals for you. A lot of people out there, you think that it's the be all and end all to them, or they care a lot about it, but actually it's more just about you proving to you that you can. And I think coming out into next year, I'm going to change a few things, definitely. But ultimately, if I look back at this year, have I given it my best? Probably yes. I think in all things considered, the circumstances, I can look back and say I gave it my best shot. And then that's all you can ask for. You can't ask for more than your best. I didn't execute my 2 marathon attempts at the high level that I'd wanted to. But at the same time, I didn't execute them too badly either. So I never ever want to get too greedy. But the fact that I know that there's more in me, I can't wait to try and unlock it into next year. So that brings me on to next year. What are the goals going forward? So for the remainder of this year, I really want to get some speed work going. Like I said, I want to try and do that challenge where I run one lap at Battersea at Calvin Kipton pace. And then I'm probably going to enter a 10K sort of in mid-November, just because I found that in the last few weeks, if I don't have something in the diary or don't have a race in the diary, my motivation levels are low. I don't have an exciting factor almost to get me out the door. So I find that when I have a race coming up, it's like, you better not slack. It's coming up soon. So that's sort of like a non-goal race, which I highly encourage you to do the same. You know, if you've done a marathon, amazing, recover from it. But if it's not every race has to be a PB. Not every race has to be a target pace. And I'm probably going to target Dulwich Park Run in the next couple of weeks as well. And all that stuff is just to have something to work towards. And I'm definitely not going to PB in those, but I'm definitely okay with that too, because it's keeping me motivated and hungry for what's to come. Then towards the end of the year, I'm actually going to South Africa for 6 weeks. So it's going to be hot and hilly and a lot of high altitude. So I need to take advantage of that. And hopefully I'll come back next year to the UK in pretty decent shape. And going into next year, I still have to decide, but I'm most likely going to be targeting Manchester Marathon in the spring. And en route to that, I will target Cambridge Half Marathon, which I think is in February sometime, a favorite of mine. And then my autumn marathon is going to be Berlin. It's the 50th edition next year. I wouldn't miss that for the world. In between, I'll most likely run a few marathons, pace a bit, vlog a bit. I know that I'll definitely do London Marathon. That's a week after Manchester, but I'll just take that a bit easier. Maybe help some people to their goals and showcase, you know, what it's all about. But that's the plan for the rest of the year and into next year. I can't wait to tweak things a little bit and do things slightly different to what I've done before. But between then and now, I'm looking to make some awesome content. So let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see. I've got a whole bunch of tips videos that I'm going to do to hopefully help you. And yeah, what a year it's been. Just reflecting on it, it's been awesome. I'm back in the game. Can't wait to get stuck into routine. Let's go.